Hi, here's a quick video on how to disassemble an old style OMAS Paragon. These are great pens. It's probably become one of my top 5 favorite pens, and they are piston fillers. And over time, piston fillers may wear out because the action wears off the grease. And so the piston may become sticky or stuff may start to leak. So you could send it back to OMAS, but that would take a very long time, most likely, and they would charge you for it. And really, it's very easy to take apart the old style Paragon. So I think, unless you really have no skill in taking things apart, it would be a better option to fix it yourself. So the first thing you want to do, obviously take off the cap, and you want to unscrew the section. Now it's going to be very easy for me to do this because I've unscrewed it multiple times already, but it will take a good amount of pressure to do it the first time. And if it feels like too much, it really feels like too much, I would keep going, because they put it on pretty tight because they don't actually put a lot of grease there to seal it. So they just make up for that, or they think they make up for it, by putting the grip section on really tight. So you want to take this apart, unscrew that. Then you want to twist the knob. Twist the piston knob until it reaches the end. And then you'll see the little seal at the end. It's reached the end. It's actually onto the threads of the grip section right now. And so then you're just going to keep twisting the knob and it'll pop out like that. First step. Then take a pencil. Don't jam it. Don't hurt the pen, but be careful. And press, and you'll see the piston the piston head comes out with the screw. So then that's out. Now you have the barrel, and actually I'll go after that later. So now the whole piston mechanism is apart. So if your pen was leaking out of the grip section, now you can you would put some silicone grease on the threads, and be careful not to put it on the feed itself, which is right next to that, because if it gets on the feed, then your pen will be clogged. So just carefully apply some silicone grease, a thin coating, you don't need that much, to the threads. And I've done this many times before. Use a cut Q-tip, not the fluffy end, because what will end up happening is you get a lot of little, I guess, cotton hairs, and they get all in the threads, and it doesn't really, well, they're so thin that it doesn't really affect anything, except you might get hairs on the feed, and those hairs have silicone grease on them, and it just gets really messy. So make sure it's a cut, you're using a cut Q-tip. So then you can put some silicone grease on it. I actually put a little bit too much, because I've already done this multiple times today. So there you have it, and then you just want to screw it back. So then that's ready, but you don't want to put the section on first, because you won't actually be able to screw this piston down all the way, and it's annoying. So the first thing you want to do to reassemble your pen is to screw the piston knob back down, but you don't want to do it all the way down. If you can see, okay, you might be able to see a little line right there where threads are. So you want to screw it right down so that you can just see the threads that screw it into the barrel, but not too much, just like one thread. So you have that kind of gap. Basically you want to screw it into the gap that you would see if you were filling the pen and you screwed it all the way down. That's the gap you want to see. So then you have it like that. Now you're going to put the piston head in. Now actually, if you had a leaky seal or something, you could put some silicone grease on this, just like that. Not too much, I guess that's too much, but put some piston, put some silicone grease on that. And I guess you could put it on this spiral part, but I don't find the need for that. So then you're going to pop it into the barrel and fish around until it fits into this little notch in the barrel. That's important. Then you're going to press it in. Now, just screw the piston knob like you were filling the pen until it's done, and then all you have to do is screw the section back on, and there you have it. Yeah, the nib can be taken apart. I think you can knock out the nib. It does not screw in, but it is held in. Maybe I can see this. There's a little collar that surrounds the nib, much like vintage 1950s Mont Blanc pens had a similar design, and so you would knock out the nib and the feed. And I guess that would be if you wanted to increase the flow, maybe? That's a guess, don't take my word for that. But there you go, and then you're done. It's a really simple piston, actually, and you know, if you just follow those steps, it's very hard to mess up, and there's really no harm that you can do to your pen. So, thanks for watching.